What's up? A quick summary of this week. This week has been, in terms of just feeling good, has been great, of course, in terms of spiritually and just feeling warm. As you can see, this whole month, actually, there's so much greens on my calendar. This is the first time ever in my life that I've seen so many green days in my calendar. And of course, I'm gonna give you a summary of my week, the amount of calls I've done and so much stuff, what I've learned. But I want you to understand that everything, all the results I've derived, all the good things I want to mention is solely and comes from my Creator. Nothing I've achieved or done was through my power. Okay? Everything I've achieved has been a result of my Creator enabling me to be able to do it. I just want to mention that first of all. So this week, as you can see, this week I have literally every single day green, and I've been able to plan 4 out of 5 days, or literally 4 out of 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've been able to plan 5 out of 6 days of this week. Okay, I've been able to plan. You know how crazy, you know how good that feels to me, coming from being so ambiguous, not being able to know what to do the next day, waking up just eating pizza and scrolling on YouTube, scrolling on Instagram, to now being able to literally plan my tomorrows, know what I'm going to do today, the next following day, the following week, the following month. You know how good that feels? Coming from a feeling of, I used to feel like I was a maniac. I still do feel that way a little bit, but it's getting better. Because we need to understand life is a continuous slope, right? And that's exactly what's happening right now. Right now, my baseline is, if you're not aware, my baseline is about 500 calls a day, sending about 500 plus emails a day and stuff like that. And this is what it kind of looks like, okay? This is what the baseline thing kind of looks like. So eventually, my baseline right now is, my baseline right now, let's say, is around over here right now. But I'm going to continuously keep on increasing my baseline. Eventually, my baseline is going to be so high that I'm going to feel like, how the hell is my baseline so low at the beginning? Is an incremental kind of thing. Is a gradual process to becoming the better version of yourself, right? Is a never-ending kind of a game, I guess, basically. So, nevertheless, you can see this week has been consistently doing that. If you look at the days this week, I've put in all the metrics, of course, in terms of, because the month is basically done. So, in terms of output, I hate baseline. My baseline is 7%. I cannot go below that, right? And I'm going to make sure the next following month, the reason why it's 7% is probably because of this day over here. This day probably really messed me up the most. As you can see, the focus is 80. The focus is high, mainly because now I've stopped giving usually my focus was high, and I wasn't wasting my time. I wasn't double tasking, all that kind of stuff, but I was still giving myself, 70%. But nowadays, I'm using a different way to track my focus. And as you can see, my focus for this month has been 80%. See, the baseline is 75%. Wow. Okay, yeah, the baseline for the output is 70%. Okay. And the goal is 85 plus. I didn't hit my goal, but I didn't go down the baseline. It's the baseline 75%, and the goal is 85%. So I'm definitely above the baseline. As you can see, this month I plan my tomorrows today. I'm going to put this one over here. Yes, obviously I did plan. I plan my tomorrows today 15 out of 30 days. So half the month I planned, half the month I didn't plan. And if you look at last month, I planned more. Damn. I planned last month more. Damn, that's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, we definitely got to work on that. But as you can see, the metrics are in. I put in this is like what? This is the April, May, June. And I really, really believe, if you're taking information from this, obviously, that one of the reasons why, because for the past 2 to 3 weeks, man, like my confidence has been soaring up. My confidence in terms of my self-efficacy has been going up. My belief in myself, my ability to, or my thought process in terms of what I can do has been increasing. Even though I've always and never been a person that has doubted myself, because when I look at my history, like anything that I've done, that I put my feet into, I've always excelled. That's why my podcast is called Preeminent, because I know there's people like you and me out there that whatever we do, without us even trying, we always excel and exceed people who are doing it prior to us. And to even make that an example, look at the cold emails that I'm doing over here. Like literally, I just launched a new cold email campaign this week. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, let me show you. I hypothesized a new market this week. You can see was healthcare. That was the market. The industry was healthcare, and the vertical was healthcare technology, and then the segments were telemedicine, health IT, and medical devices. I literally scraped leads for all three of these markets. I identified what their specific problems were, and I made sure also that these markets that I'm targeting, they also offer or they have transaction sizes around 6 figures plus. So that way, I know these people have money, and if I can get them 6-figure plus transactions, I can at least make 5 figures plus in transactions on a monthly basis for myself, right? Because you want to make sure you're offering value to people who their value that they're offering is also something that's big. So that way you can have, a size. How do I make this? How do I make sense of this? You want to make sure whoever you're helping sell their cake, the cake is big enough. So that way you can have a nice slice of the pie. Or a nice slice of the cake, if that makes sense. That's all it is. Okay? I literally hypothesized this same week. You can see June 20th. Look at this. Look, the remarks is June 27th. That was literally 2 days ago. Okay? I hypothesized this stuff. I wrote the copy, and I cold emailed the people, and literally, okay, I've literally generated about 4 to 5 positive responses so far, and I've actually sent about 2,000 emails? 2 to 1,000 emails. I don't really know yet. And this has only been the first email. Of course, I've got some responses. Some people saying, we're not in a telemedicine space. I'm aware. The list is not completely cleaned out. It's not all that kind of, chunked down, all that kind of stuff. I'm aware. I've gotten about 6 no's, if I'm not mistaken, right? 6 to 7 no's. But I've also gotten 4 positive responses. Literally. From literally this same process over here. I got a hypothesis. I'm experimenting now. I'm getting feedback, and I'm going to iterate. I'm going to do that speed. I'm going to keep doing that, and that's just what it's going to be. And I don't know if I even told you. I also started launching cold email campaigns for podcast guests. I literally got 3 or 4 commitments now. It's about 6, but 2 of them basically I feel like they want to see that I have some interviews, because people are herders. They have a herd mentality, right? Some people, they ask me, they respond to my emails, and they're like, for example, okay, Robin, okay, show me your podcast, who are other people you have on your podcast? And that's like any market you go to. If you're trying to sell services, there's people out there who are going to be asking for testimonials, people out there who are going to be like, let me go ahead and pay you. People out there are going to be skeptic. So same thing with any market you're trying to solicit or whatever, right? Some people are going to be straightforward. They're going to be like, hey, let's go ahead and do the podcast. Some people are going to be like, hey, let me show you, let me see what you have. Some people are going to be like, hey, not today. So at the beginning, the people who are going to be open to just helping you or getting on the podcast or indulging into your services without trying to see your background, you're going to focus on those people. And those people are going to help you get those testimonials, and they're going to help you get those testimonials are going to help you get more people, and so on and so forth, basically. So you're going to start off with the people who don't ask for much, and those people who don't ask for much in terms of results, they're going to help you get the people who want results, and people who want results are going to help you get the people who want more results, and so on and so forth, if that kind of makes sense to you. So just by literally hypothesizing, and by the way, the cold email campaigns for the podcast, I was supposed to start that since February. I've been delaying it. And the reason why I delayed it mainly because I felt as though it really wasn't a revenue generating activity. But these podcasts can serve as a way for me to build connections and also learn from people that would need to actually pay tens of thousands of dollars for, or tens of thousands of dollars to learn from. And now I can do it for free. And if I do a good enough job, I can even get mentors from this, friends, companions. And worst case scenario, I can have people that I speak to, ask them questions that I'm really curious about, and have you learn alongside the journey. How crazy is this? Just by a simple email that I wrote. And you know what? I'll even show you the cold emails. It's a generic email. Like, I didn't even listen. I don't waste my time with all that. Let me show you. Look at this. So look. We got 2% response rate. No, it's higher than this. This is just for today. This is just for today, by the way. Let me show you, okay? Yeah, this is just for today, last 7 days. It's higher than this. Okay, cool. So 8 responses, basically. You can see that, right? So let me just show you the emails. It's really, really simple. Look, hey, Tom, we have a podcast. No, this, okay, this, sorry. Look, this is what the email looks like. Simple. Multiple variations, right? Right? Look at that. Look at that. Simple. That's it. And just like that, we have these people. Like this guy, one of the people that replied to my email, he even gave me his phone number. I was like, holy shit. I looked that guy up. The guy he sold multiple companies that have gotten to billions of dollars. He's an old guy. Right? And one thing also, I'm not putting these people on a pedestal. I'm just trying to say, and it just increased my, look at this. Look at these notifications. Look at this. These are all replies. Look at this. Look at my podcast. Just got 10 people downloading my podcast. 10 people. Right? Look at all these responses just from launching a campaign yesterday. Man, like, it's crazy. Just by a hypothesis, experiment, feedback, iterate at speed. That's it. And I'm going to continue doing it. And I know it's eventually going to be great. You know why? Because as I keep on getting feedback, I'm going to keep on iterating. And it's going to increase growth. That's basically what it is. It's as simple as that. Nobody's out here that can do this stuff better than me. People out here, they're not smarter than you and me. They don't have, whatever they do, we can do a million times better. There's no field that we can go into that we cannot excel and exceed past the people there. Okay? With that being said, I guess this is just a quick summary of the week. So far, like I just showed you, I've done about 500 cold calls every single day. Obviously. And one key thing I forgot to actually mention, this following month, I'm actually going to go ahead and do an all-out campaign. I'm doing an all-out campaign right now for the health sector, of course. And the offer there is trying to raise them capital and deals and that kind of stuff. But I'm going to be doing an all-out campaign actually for like other sectors. So this is private equity. And I'm going to go back to start pitching brokers, of course, to try to get them deals. Because honestly, I need to really, really just generate some money. Like for the past couple of months, I've been focusing on like a long-term horizon, but I need to focus on making gains right now. So that way I can be able to actually focus on long-term horizon. Because if I'm not, and my product is going to be around $5,000 to $10,000. So I know I need about, if you watch my other video, I know I'm going to go ahead and need about 20 to 10 people to be able to make $100,000 on the front end. And then, of course, we have success fees, commission that I charge people. And then it's basically going to be on the back end. Every client to me is worth at least $50,000 per year, minimum. So, if you get 20 people, you're looking at about a good amount of money. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's like $1 million, basically. In complete profit, basically on the back end from 20 people. And that basically goes back to a hypothesis of trying to serve a market that has a big cake that you can sell for them, or that is looking for a big cake that you can bring to them. So that way you can get a good slice. I'm not serving, there's nothing wrong with carpenters and all that kind of stuff, but you got to serve the place where there's money. So that way when you get a lot of money, you can serve the people at the bottom, basically. With that being said, I guess just a quick summary of this week. I've exceeded far beyond my time frame for making content just because I made, I guess, numerous amounts of content pieces. But yeah, that's basically it. I don't think there's really much for me to actually say. The health thing, it looks good. I'm going to go ahead today and tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and plan for the following month. How am I going to plan? Basically, I'm going to plan by identifying what my price tag is going to be, what the monthly recurring fee is going to be, because I'm going to need to hypothesize, of course, right? Just like I told you, I'm going to need to hypothesize. I'm going to experiment. And inshallah, of course, Allah's going to help me along the way. He's going to bless what I'm doing, because without His blessings, without His help, none of this is really going to work. It doesn't matter what kind of metrics or what kind of KPIs I have. So I'm going to sit down. Tomorrow is mainly for really hypothesizing. I need to sit down, understand who I'm going to target. I need to come up with a cold call script. I'm going to start, obviously, with calling brokers once again, because that's really the easiest market for me, just to scrape their information or start calling. And I always try to do the most frictionless thing as fast as possible, as soon as possible. So that way I can start hitting the ground running. Because from our perspective, like July is already done already. Like July, I look at July like it's very, very short. Any month is very, very little. Like it's only 4 weeks in a month. And the weeks have only like 5 days, depending. Those 5 days finish very, very fast. And you know what? You know how I've come to this conclusion, by the way, of looking at time like it's so finite, like it's so little? I've continuously been saying to myself in certain, like, I'll just be sitting down. This is not done at a specific time frame every single day, by the way. But throughout my days and throughout my weeks, I just continuously tell myself, hey, yo, the week is already done. I tell myself when it's 12 p.m., that means the day is done. I tell myself, yo, it's Monday, that means the week is done. Oh my God, it's a new week, that means the month is already done. And I continuously just keep telling myself this. And I've seen that has increased a sense of urgency in me to actually take action a lot. So that's why one of my focuses for next month is actually going to be affirmations. And it's not going to be the affirmation that you're aware of, oh, I'm strong, I'm bold. No. My affirmation is going to be a bit different. And it's going to be really like 5 to 10 things I'm going to be repeating to myself at a specific time frame every single day. That's going to be, at least I know, every single morning, every single night. And why I'm going to be doing that is because I have a hypothesis that this stuff really works. Continuously repeating something to yourself, whether you believe it or not, it comes true. I've seen it happen to multiple people, and this example of me continuously repeating to myself that time is very little has now kind of become like true to me. Like, I really believe time is really, it is not a lot of it. So it has created a sense of urgency for me. And if that can create a sense of urgency in me just by repeating things, not even on a consistent basis, then imagine what it can do for me just by repeating to myself that I'm a specific kind of character, I'm a specific kind of individual, I have certain kind of virtues to myself. Eventually, it will become a part of my body. I will ingrain it, and I will become the best version of myself on a consistent basis. I have a lot of stuff about myself that I do not like, a lot of vices that continuously assail me, but eventually, I'm going to be able to exceed and, stop dwelling in these vices by His might. That being said, look forward to next month updating you on the week, updating you on the progress, what's going on. I know without doubt that the price tag minimum I'm going to be charging people upfront is going to be $5,000. That's really minimum. I'm not doing anything below $5,000. Like, I'm not doing it. I have results for myself. I have results for other people. I know this works. It's $5,000 upfront, and right now I just need to figure out the unit economics for the monthly recurring, because that typically can make or break what's going to happen. But once again, that depends upon the market you're serving, right? Because there's some people, make or break, a couple of grand per month is not really anything at all. They have a huge budget. They have budget allocated to business development. And once again, that's a belief problem, right? It's a belief problem to think that you can't charge high. It's a belief problem. And yeah, that's all stuff that that's one of the key things I'm going to be including in my affirmation. But one thing, if you're curious to know what I'm going to put in my affirmations, is that I am the man. I can achieve, and I have achieved anything I put my mind to, and I will continue to achieve what I put my mind to. There's no roadblock, there's nothing that can stop me from doing whatever I want to do. I have any and everything I need to achieve my goals. I am abundant. That's one of the punchlines for my affirmations. Because anything is possible. Like, yo, this is just from an idea. All these from ideas, just from an idea. Okay? That being said, love you.